November rises on the horizon, bringing with it the stillness of late autumn and the whisper of nature preparing for winter. It's a month for introspection, for gratitude for the harvest, and for sowing new hopes in the fertile ground of our spirit. Under the mantle of the sky, which becomes clearer and more starry, the moon becomes our cosmic guide, illuminating each day with perpetual dance of renewal and transformation. Every lunar phase is a reminder that life itself flows in cycles. Moments of bold growth, instances let go with serenity, and spaces of silence where the seeds of our future germinate deep within. In this November lunar journey, we invite you to tune into your own energy, to listen to the subtle messages the moon brings to you, and to walk hand in hand with it toward a period of deep interconnection. We are Fase Lunar, and we extend an invitation to explore together the celestial 30-day calendar, a map where each sunrise and each night hold a unique purpose and teaching. Get ready to discover how the moon, with its changing light, influences our emotions and our path. Let's begin our fascinating day-by-day journey through the moon's phases in November. November 1st. The month kicks off with the moon in a waxing gibbous phase, featuring a notable 83.4% illumination and an age of 10.8 days. This is a day for consolidation, to look confidently forward and see how your intentions begin to take shape. Every step you take today brings you closer to the fullness that awaits. November 2nd. The lunar light intensifies, reaching 91.3% illumination. The moon, at 12.0 days old, is still in a waxing gibbous phase. Energy accelerates, urging you to continue what you started. It's an ideal time to strengthen your foundations and prepare the ground for future achievements. November 3rd. The moon continues its ascent, shining with 96.9%. At 13.1 days old, still in a waxing gibbous phase, its radiance invites you to show the world what you've been carefully nurturing. Dare to share your dreams and projects. The moon's light supports you. November 4th. With 99.7% illumination, the nearly full moon envelopes us in its powerful magnetism. At 14.3 days old and in a waxing gibbous phase, the air itself is charged with expectation. And this is an opportune moment to reaffirm your intentions and strengthen your conviction. The culmination is just around the corner. November 5th, the full moon arrives. With a spectacular 99.8% illumination and an age of 15.0 days, the moon presents itself in its full splendor. This day is a portal of culmination and revelation. It's time to reap the fruits of your efforts, to celebrate achievements, and to see clearly what was once hidden. Allow the powerful energy of the full moon to illuminate your path. November 6th. After the glorious full moon, the moon begins its descent, entering the waning gibbous phase, with 99.1% light and an age of 15.6 days. This day invites you to calm, to reflect on what is manifested, and to assimilate new truths. November 7th. With 95.3% illumination, the 16.8-day-old moon is still in a waning gibbous phase. It's a time for careful observation. The moon encourages you to listen more deeply to your inner voice, to discern the messages that fullness has revealed to you. November 8th. The moon descends to 88.6% illumination at 18.0 days old and in a waning gibbous phase. The waning energy invites assimilation. Experiences must transform into valuable lessons that nourish your being. November 9th. With 79.8% light, the 19.1-day-old moon remains in a waning gibbous phase. Introspection intensifies. Dedicate time to yourself without haste or demands. Allow yourself to feel, reflect, and connect with your inner wisdom. November 10th. The moon drops to 69.5% of its light. At 20.3 days old, still in a waning gibbous phase, detachment becomes a necessary companion in this part of the cycle. Recognize what burdens you can release to move forward lighter. November 11th. With 58.6% illumination, the 21.3-day-old moon is still in a waning gibbous phase. The sky asks for clarity and discernment. It's a good day to make decisions from the wisdom of your heart. November 12th. We reach the last quarter moon with 47.6% light and an age of 22.4 days. This is a moment of liberation and cycle completion. It's time to forgive, to cut ties that no longer serve you, and to leave behind what should no longer accompany you on your journey. November 13th. With 37.1% illumination, the energy wanes further. The 23.4-day-old moon, in its waning crescent phase, invites you into deep inner silence. Allow yourself to rest and recharge your spirit. November 14th. The moon descends to 27.5%. At 24.3 days old and in a waning crescent phase, it's an opportune day to take care of yourself, to protect your energy and to cultivate peace within. November 15th. With 19% light, the 25.3-day-old moon, in its waning crescent phase, melancholy may appear. Allow yourself to feel these emotions, but also trust the process of transformation that the waning moon brings. November 16th. Illumination drops to 11.9%. At 26.2 days old and in a waning crescent phase, today everything invites you to surrender, to let go of control, and to trust the flow of the universe. November 17th. With 6.3% light, the 27.2-day-old moon, in its waning crescent phase, reminds us of the importance of closing cycles with love and gratitude, honoring what was. November 18th. The light descends to 2.5%. At 28.1 days old and in a waning crescent phase, this is a day of complete surrender to the universe, preparing for the rebirth that is approaching. November 19th. With barely 0.5% illumination, the 29.0-day-old moon, in its waning crescent phase, nears its end, offering a final sigh of quietude before the new beginning. November 20th. The new moon arrives. With a tiny 0.4% light and an age of 0.4 days, the sky empties, giving you a blank canvas for your dreams. This is the perfect moment to plant new intentions, to visualize what you wish to attract into your life, and to begin a new cycle with renewed energy. The darkness of the new moon holds the promise of all that is yet to be born. November 21st. The moon begins to grow again in a waxing crescent phase, with 2.2% light and an age of 1.3 days. A barely visible thread announces a gestation of new beginnings and renewed hope. November 22nd. With 5.8% illumination, the 2.2-day-old moon, in its waxing crescent phase, the seed of your intentions is now planted. Today is a day to nourish your desires with faith, to visualize them growing with each ray of lunar light. November 23rd. The moon reaches 11.1%. At 3.2 days old and in a waxing crescent phase, it's a day for exploring new ideas, for letting curiosity guide you towards uncharted paths. November 24th. With 18.1% light, the 4.1-day-old moon, in its waxing crescent phase, inspiration expands. Allow creativity to flow freely, for new ideas to take shape in your mind. November 25th. The moon grows to 26.5%. At 5.1 days old and in a waxing crescent phase, today is a good day to take concrete steps in what you started with the new moon. Take action with determination. November 26th. With 36% illumination, the 6.1-day-old moon, in its waxing crescent phase, confidence in your path begins to solidify. You feel the urge to move forward with your projects. November 27th. The moon shows 46.5% light. At 7.1 days old and in a waxing crescent phase, the energy is one of openness and collaboration. Seek to connect with others, share ideas, and work as a team. November 28th. We reach the first quarter moon with 57.4% light and an age of 8.1 days. This is a point of decision and action, a push from the universe to move forward with clarity in your goals. It's time to act. November 29th. The moon continues its ascent, transforming into a waxing gibbous moon at 68.4% illumination and an age of 9.2 days. The energy is strong and optimistic, paving the way for the coming fullness. November 30th. We close the month with a waxing gibbous moon at 78.8% illumination and an age of 10.3 days. The energy is vibrant and full of promise, anticipating the achievements and culminations that await you in the next cycle. This concludes our lunar journey for November, a month marked by the deep introspection of its waning phases and the vibrant rebirth of its waxing ones. Always remember that there is a time for action and expansion, and another for reflection and healing. Both are equally sacred and necessary in the journey of our lives. Thank you for joining us on this magical lunar journey. May the wisdom of the moon illuminate your path.